Hello YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. We welcome you to the live coverage of round 12 of 36 on the Outlaws Sim Series season in the virtual Sparta, Kentucky, where we continue to run to the playoffs with 5 races remaining in the regular season. Opening in 2000, the Kentucky Speedway has played host to ARCA, IRL, NASCAR since its inception. The NASCAR Cup Series made its trek to the Bluegrass State annually since 2011. The Speedway would undergo a reconfiguration and repave in 2016, but stop right there because tonight we're on that previous version. An ode to racing at the Kentucky Speedway, with it missing from the 2021 NASCAR National Series. The Outlaw Sim Series Bandits cars take on the Legacy Kentucky Speedway. Coming into today, today's charity is the American Heart Association, and for 100 years, the AHA has fought to be a relentless force for a world of longer, healthier lives. Heart disease and stroke being two of the top killers in the world each year. These diseases can kill up to 800,000 Americans a year. If you wish to donate to the American Heart Association, you can donate to them with the donation buttons on our Facebook page with the posts about today's race. I have a donation button that goes straight between you and that charity. Or if you want to donate straight between you and the foundation, you can go to heart.org for more info. Coming into today's race, let's take a look at the playoff standings coming into today. The winners stay mostly the same. Greg Holt won last week. He's ineligible for playoff competition, unfortunately. You look at that battle for that final playoff spot. Jason Miz is 5 points above Kevin Thompson. Lingerfeld's 11 points above. But this is all going to change. Jason Miz is not here today with computer issues, so we're hoping he can get back to racing as soon as possible and still make a crack at this thing. But it is not looking good for him. And we have some breaking news coming into today's race. We're gonna have some issues here at the beginning. First, you're gonna notice one of the primary competitors of today's race, or of this series, is gonna be missing today. The 7 of Malenko is serving a 1-week suspension for his actions last week, cited with intentionally wrecking under caution, disregarding an admin's warning, disrespecting an admin, and a few other things that's going to put him out for this week's race. It's not going to affect his playoff status as he's locked into the playoffs and has 3 wins to his name. A couple other playoff drivers with last week. You remember Seth and Kazi going at it. They're going to both be serving 3-lap penalties. Kazi cited with intentionally wrecking under caution. And how about Seth Berger? He's going to be serving a 3-lap penalty. He cited with driving with the intent to wreck another vehicle. It was seen that his lap times were sufficient enough to clear his way from the 88, but pretty much intentionally waited for the 88, and that's going to be why we're going to not have Malenko in today's race. And you'll see Kazi and Seth Berger towards the bottom of the standings as we get going with today's race. That being said, that's a lot to unpack. Let's get down to the racetrack and see what's going on. And top of the charts, and probably somebody who's going to have to take a lot of advantage what's gone on, is this driver right here, Max Service. Right now, top of the charts. And yeah, he really needs to make something happen. He's going to have to take advantage of Kazi and Seth Berger having to start 3 laps down today. Oh, Tyler Markle hard into the inside wall, back across the track. But that's right, Max Service is gonna have to take advantage of Seth and Kazi having to work their way through the field, especially at a track that's honestly probably not gonna have a lot of cautions. We're gonna talk to Max Service right now if we can. And Max, top of the charts at a race that a couple of your competitors are going to be starting behind the 8 ball. You got to take advantage of today's race. How do you plan on doing that?
I think I got to figure out how to run consistently at this point, but because that 1 lap is just, it's a lap that I can put together like 1 in 10 times.
Fair enough. Well, you say that 1 lap you can put it together that many times, or only 1 out of a few times, but what's the longer than pace of that 81? It's going to be a lot of green flag running, I'd assume.
I have no idea. I think I'm on my longest stint right now, and I think I'm like probably about 12 laps in. and it is really, really tight. um, but we will certainly find out how the long run pace is. I think I'm definitely better than a lot of people here at Saving Tires, but I think this race here is really going to put it to the test and see how good people truly are at saving tires, because it is incredibly tight and it just shoves on entry.
So I know that's your teammate who just passed you, Seth Berger. I know you weren't directly involved with what had happened, but what is your thoughts on how everything was assessed after what had gone down?
I mean, it's whatever, things happen. I mean, it's whatever the admins feel is what needs to be given, and I mean, I'm fully in support of whatever they think. It doesn't really matter to me. I mean, Swift Racing's a little behind the eight ball this week, though, but I mean, everything's all good.
Fair enough. What are your expectations for this race? What do you where do you think you can place this 81?
If I finish this race, I'll be impressed. Because at this rate, I'm not incredibly happy with this race car or the racetrack.
Fair enough. Well, we're gonna leave you to it, and hopefully we're talking to you on the far side.
I doubt it.
All right, man. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
And that was the 81 of Max Service. And let's see. We got let's see who we can actually grab a hold of in this Discord. It's things have kind of gone little interesting coming into today's race. Let's let's see if we can talk to last week's winner, driver of the number 3, Greg Holt. Greg, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Coming off a pretty momentous win last week at Lucas Oil Raceway, but it was anything short of, well, clean and simple for the most part. Not that it directly affects you. I don't think you were affected by any of the incidents anyway, but how do you feel about what went down at Lucas Oil? You think it's just what's going to happen at short tracks?
Well, I think you can chalk some of it up, but then, sometimes you just got to leave it alone. You keep putting yourself there, and it ain't going to go away, Better to just separate, let it be. But short track going to bring that out.
Yeah, fair enough. So that's a short track. This, Legacy, Kentucky. Fun mile and a half before the repave. How do you feel about the track? How do you feel you're doing at the track?
The track's fine. I don't have a lot of experience here. Same as Lucas Oil. I hadn't raced at Lucas Oil ever until that week, so I think I've got 1 or 2 races here, but not on the Legacy. So we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be all about saving that right front.
Yeah, for sure. So we expect it to go pretty green. What do you think is the long run pace of that 3 car? Where do you think it stacks up?
I mean, I don't really know. You haven't had enough laps with anybody out here to really see what they're going to do, but we do pretty good on the long run, so you just got to keep that right front in mind. Hopefully we'll last longer than everybody else.
So you said you ran a couple of races on the new version of Kentucky. How does it feel kind of going through a different turn 3 because it is so flat with the repave?
It is. It's much different. I don't think there's much of an outside groove here, whereas you might be able to hang a little bit better on the newer version of the track versus here. I just don't see there being an out. I think if you're not on the bottom, you're going to be in trouble.
Fair enough. And then a couple heavyweights most weeks. Seth, Kazi starting 3 laps down today. How do you plan on taking advantage of that?
Oh, man, I would rather have those guys up here running. So, that stuff doesn't matter to me. I'd rather race against the best guys, Not saying nobody else is any good, but it sucks when you got people that are going to start with a disadvantage like that. But it is what it is.
Fair enough. Yeah, best luck to you today. Hopefully we're talking to you on the far side.
Hopefully so. Thank you.
Rock on. And that was driver of the number 3, Greg Holt, last week's winner at Lucas Oil. And, yeah, great guy. I love the personality he brings to the interviews as far as the racer. He's still very new to me, and he's been exciting to watch. He's had the pace to contend, obviously winning last week at Lucas Oil. Yeah, how about Landon Cardulo going top of the charts? We're going to talk to him in just a second. I have to try to get the opinion of driver of the number 77, Seth Berger. Seth, gonna be a little bit in the hole to start today's race. How do you feel?
As much as everyone's not liking the track right now, I'm kind of enjoying it. It takes a lot of patience to drive it, and as far as starting 3 laps down, just a new challenge, man. Let's just see what I can do. Who knows? Maybe I'll be put in a position in the playoffs, be a few laps down. Got to figure out a way to get back to the lead lap. So, I'm just going to try to use this as a practice almost. Obviously going to try to go for the win, but I'm going to try to pull some strategy if some pops up. But if it goes caution-free, I'm kind of screwed.
That's fair enough. So this track, especially the newer version, you expect it to go caution-free. I don't know how much experience you have with the legacy version at Kentucky. Do you expect more of the same just because of how wide it is and the kind of track it is, or maybe there's something brewing?
I have a feeling that we're definitely going to get a long green flag run, but I think there's going to be a point where just because of how the banking is very deceiving. It looks like there's more banking than there actually is. So I think once it starts coming down the wire, people are going to start driving it a little and driving it in too hard. So that's where the flurry of cautions, I think, will come.
So you think we're going to get some long runs today? What do you think is the long run pace at 77?
I feel pretty good. I'm only 5th on the charts right now, but if I can figure out my turn 3 and 4, I feel like I could definitely be at the top of the charts right now.
Rock on. Yeah, I love the fact that you're taking what's happening today as a learning experience for the playoffs. I think that's great. A great mindset looking forward. Yeah. I don't really know what else to ask other than I'll say best luck to you today.
Check in once in a while. See if I can get back to lead lap.
Right, fair enough. If we get some cautions, we'll see if we can pull you up. But yeah, best luck to you. I know Burger Nation's not going to be too thrilled about how you're going to be starting the race, but no, that's a fast 77 week in and week out. Should be no problem if you can get some help to get back onto the lead lap. So best luck to you, and hopefully we're talking to you on the far side.
All right, thank you.
And that was driver of the number 77, Seth Berger. We have to see the other side of the situation, and let's see if we can get a word in with this driver of the number 88, Joseph Causey. Joseph, starting a little bit of hold today, but fast week in, week out. How do you feel? Do you think you're going to be able to overcome it?
We'll see what happens. Maybe. Hopefully.
Fair enough. And you don't really know what's going to happen in racing. What we do expect are long green flag runs. And how do you think this 88 stacks up on the long green flag runs?
I don't know. He's gonna have to be nice to the right front and try not to hit the wall coming out of 2.
Yeah, she'll grab you. I know this track obviously is the legacy version. The banking in 3 and 4. How different is that to how flat it is with the reconfig, and does that help or hurts?
It's a lot different. I like this version better, to be honest, because the 3 and 4 on the new version is weird. To me, it's weird because even when the cup cars, probably in this car too, you got a downshift. I've done it several times where you got a downshift later in the run just to keep the speed up, momentum in the car.
Fair enough. Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. So I like that. There's kind of a grab bag of emotions in that regard. Some people I think like Greg Holt likes the flatter version, and you like this version. I think that's great. That there's different preferences in the when it comes to this track, but Legacy, Kentucky. Yeah, the Bluegrass State. Have you made any treks out here? Do you enjoy this track? I know a lot of people don't, but
Yeah, it's unique. It's different. It's not like Las Vegas or Chicagoland. It's wide, flat. It's unique.
that's fair. With it being wide and flat, do you expect that to be the cause of a lot of green flag runs? You think we'll go maybe caution free because of it?
I don't know. We'll see if someone don't kill the wall off of two and take the field out with them.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of people already have troubles with turn 2 in practice.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah. What is we talked to Seth, and he's taking this more as an opportunity to kind of prepare for if something were to happen in the playoffs where that he's able to, where he falls a couple laps down due to something happening. What is your outlook on this race now, being in the hole?
I mean, I guess I would take it the same way, being behind the 8 ball already, a couple laps. And just going to have to almost pray that there's a caution to come out, to get a lucky dog.
Right. Yeah, that's gonna be something. If there is a caution, whoever is in front of the other when that caution comes out, they're gonna be benefiting from lucky dogs first, and that's gonna be important.
Oh yeah.
Right on. But yeah, best luck to you today. Hopefully we're talking to you on the far side, and yeah, we'll see what that 88 can do.
Hopefully we can bring it, get out the hole.
Right. All right, take care. Good luck.
Later.
And that was driver of the number 8, Mr. Joseph Causey. And let's see, this driver who's gone top of the charts and who he's been blazing. But this is a driver I know that can really eat up that right front tire. But we'll see if there's a little bit of a different, I guess, mindset coming into today's race. Landon, top of the charts. How you feel?
I feel good. I've had a couple weeks off, but just working on some long runs here.
Right. So, about that long run, how do you think this A car stacks up? Is it up to par with that time, or the pace to be up front?
I think so. Again, we're at one of those tracks where it's all about
Into the wall.
all about tire conservation. So I think if we just set practice as not a hot lap session, then I think we should be good. It feels good. Once you start getting in the groove and you know where to run, then you definitely figure out the track.
Fair enough. So a couple heavy weights starting behind the 8 ball today. Seth, Kazi, does that make it a little bit easier going forward, or still the same amount of work is going to have to be put in to get up there and run up front?
Same work. I mean, we're getting guys here that are definitely stepping up the pace week in, week out. So, sucks to see them gone. I mean, it's gonna be sad not seeing them in the competition, which you never know. I mean, we could have cautions and they can be right back up here. So, but still, we got Schumacher stepping up his game. Kevin Thompson's doing pretty good as well. We got a couple new faces in this race. I see McClune and Lingerfeld, Schumacher. All of them are doing good, and they've really stepped up their pace. So it's gonna be hard.
Sure it will. Yeah, coming into today. Gosh, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, that's right. We're at the legacy version of this track. Already had a couple different mindsets coming into today's race. People like in the current version, with the flatter turn 3 or this legacy version. What do you think about this track? Do you think turn 3 on this version helps, hurts?
I think it's better, to be honest with you, because if I'm not mistaken, I think the newer, repaved Kentucky, you got to run the bottom, and you can't really make time up on the bottom in 3 and 4 in the new one. But at least with the old Kentucky, you got your own lane. So, and there's definitely grip in that lane if if you back up your corner and get a good exit. So I don't know. I mean, I like them both, but I'm kind of leaning more towards this one.
Fair enough. And yeah, what do you think the outlook for the 8 is today? What's the goal?
It's gonna be the same goal every week, and that's just to survive. The last race I did, Darlington, we struggled bad. And just the wall came too close, and then got up in a couple people's messes. But other than that, I think it's a fresh slate.
Yeah,
Survive.
fair enough. Well, best luck to you today. You're at top of the charts. Seeing if you can keep that pace up and maybe do a little some work on that long run. And yeah, we'll see if we're talking to you on the far side.
I appreciate it. Sorry, I kind of don't know what to say right now.
No, you're good. I blanked on what I was gonna ask you too, so it's all right. Yeah, it's just kind of a weird point in the season to talk to people who aren't in the thick of the playoff battle. At a mile and a half, it's not a whole lot to talk about. I appreciate you
It's good
taking
though.
time anyway.
It's good because that just we're just practicing for next season.
Right, right. Fair enough. But yeah, best luck to you, and hopefully we're talking to you on the far side.
Sounds good. Thank you, Emerson.
Right on. And that was driver of the number 88, Landon Cardulo. Let's see who else we can get a word in. This is somebody I've been wanting to talk to for a bit. Let's see if I can bring him on up. And this driver, right, yeah, I've been wanting to talk to him for a little bit, but sitting 7th on the practice charts, Andrew Pratt. Andrew, how you doing?
Hey, Emerson, how are you? I'm doing pretty good.
I'm great. Now I figured I'd check in on you. You're still hanging there in the playoffs with that one win. How's this little middle of the season kind of gone toward this part of the regular season, knowing that you're kind of in the playoffs, but you're still hungry for more? What's it been in that 75?
I feel like it's been a pretty good stretch for us. We've had some close calls for some real good finishes. I mean, top 5 last week. I'll take that any day after what we drove through that race. So, no.
That was a great battle last week with you and Kevin Thompson. Talk about that.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun last week. I would say last week was probably one of my favorite races of the season. I was happy to see him get a top 5 too there, and he needs those points for the playoffs. So it worked out for his benefit. So I was happy about that too.
Right. So a lot of the times on the charts, those are the hot laps. Where do you think the long run of this 75 stacks up?
We've done quite a bit of practice. We feel pretty good about our long run. We'll probably lose some positions early on in the run, but I would say I'll see them in 10 laps and dispose of them. But I think most people will catch on to having to, back up your corners and not having a lot of options on what you can adjust. The right front's pretty vulnerable here, so it's gonna be who can manage their right front throughout the run.
Right. Yeah. So what's the goal for the 75 today? Is this a track where you think you can pick up momentum heading into the playoffs, or any more tracks in the regular season where you think this that's gonna be able to happen?
I'm hoping for a top 5. I think we have that capability. Depends on where we qualify and how the cautions fall here. It's kind of a fuel mileage race. You got to run it to the max of what you can run on a tank to make it on a 3-stop race. So, hopefully, I want it to go green because I feel like that's going to play into our benefit. But we'll see. You never know in these things. But we've had some long green races before, so I know the fans probably don't want to see that. But from a driver's point, that's kind of what I want to see.
Right, right. Yeah. You have anybody to shout out for your run this season so far?
Say hi to my mom and dad, and hopefully my little nephew Crosby is watching this because I heard he was pretty excited about how we were running last week. So shout those guys out, and hopefully put on a good show for everyone.
Right. I had noticed you've been picking up a little bit of support in the past week, so that was pretty nice. Coupled that with the great run last week. Yeah, speaking of last week, I know you weren't directly involved with it or anything, but with everything that went down last week, how do you feel? Do you think it was properly assessed?
I'm cool with it. I talked to both of those drivers, and they both went out of their way to apologize to me. I mean, I still have a memory and know what happened. I mean, we got caught up in their baloney, and that's just kind of stupid. But they both apologized, which kind of goes a long way with me. So we're good. But hopefully they've got that all worked out and go back to. We're gonna bang doors, so it's gonna happen, and it's just, you gotta keep your emotions in check, and keep your head on it, keep your fenders on it, because there's no fast repairs, so that's kind of key here. So it's gonna be an endurance, that's for sure, endurance test, but
Right.
we're looking forward to it.
Right on. Well, practice is coming to a close, so we're gonna let you get into the mindset for qualifying. Yeah, thanks for talking to us. Best luck to you today. Hopefully we're talking to you on the far side.
Hey, yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
Right on. And that was driver of the number 75, Andrew Pratt. And don't worry, I see all the chat messages. I want to shout y'all all out for coming in and tuning in. I do appreciate that. And all the support everybody brings for the Outlaw Sim series. Practice is coming to a close. And, yep, there we go. But yeah, so Jason, with his computer issues, is unfortunately not going to be able to run today. But he's in the chat. He says, good luck. Wish I could be there. I was really looking to run good here. Yeah, I am sorry, Jason. I know I know that hurts. But, when you come back, and I hope you come back very soon, you'll be able to come back even stronger and give it your best coming into in this final run to the playoffs. Andrew St. Cour is here. Yeah, he had some computer troubles. I know you asked what had happened. Good luck, guys. And let's go, Max. Right. Yeah, of course, Max Service, he was top of the charts earlier in the practice, so he has a little bit of momentum on his side. Lisa Pratt says, let's go, number 75. All three of us rooting for you tonight. Glad to hear it. It's going to be fun. I love the support that everybody's bringing in the chat for their drivers. And Malenko in the chat, he's on vacation today, right? Serving a 1-week suspension for all the actions that went down at Lucas Oil. But qualifying is underway. And yeah, let's see who we can find out on the track. And is this Reese Schaefer? Yeah, we got Reese Schaefer out on track. One of the drivers electing to go early. We'll see what Reese Schaefer can do. Let's ride on board and let's see how turn 3 is with the banking. Reese Schaefer comes off of turn number 4. He'll cross the line. His first lap will put him third quickest. Somebody's gone top of the chart. Jacob Zola with a 32.720. The qualifying pace has shown up in the 4 car. What is the second lap going to bring? It will not improve. Schaefer's gone third quickest. Justin Miller comes out onto the track. Theron Elam Jr. coming around to set a time. He goes 5th quickest. Adam Gardner coming around. The first lap did not count for him. Matthew Setzer coming around. Tyler Markle of the drivers coming around. Adrian Schumacher out on track. Devin Smith as well. A lot of drivers coming around. Let's see Schumacher into the barrier. Schumacher will not get a good qualifying time. And Landon Cardula out on track to try to get a time in. Devin Smith coming around. Tyler Markle coming around to finish his first lap. Tyler Markle will go 5th of 9. We'll see. Gardner's gone 8th. Justin Miller goes 9th. Cardulo. Here he is on track. Seth Berger has made his way out onto the track. Josh McClune has gone 6th quickest. Joseph Causey has now qualified 2nd. And with Causey and Berger having to serve 3-lap penalties, they are allowed to qualify because it's going to help them with their pit selection. Landon Cardulo has gone top of the charts with a 32.711. What a run from Landon Cardulo. We'll catch up with Seth Berger. As I was talking about it, they are allowed to come and run sometimes to see where they would qualify. And, right. But they are going to have to start from the pit lane. And so they're going to be held there for 3 laps. And everybody behind them in the qualifying order will move up a spot in their line. Steph's gone 15 quickest his first lap, but he still has another lap. In the chat, Mark Berger's here saying, Burger Nation go, 77, 7, 81, and 42. Glad to have the Team Swift support from Mark Berger. You love to see the teammate support as well. Yeah, the 7 is not here today. He's serving a 1-week suspension, but he'll be back and he'll be pretty strong at the upcoming tracks in this run to the playoffs. Seth Berger, his second lap gets him. It'll be 6th quickest for Burger Nation. Malenko says Max is going to carry Swift Motorsport to the dub. Andrew St. Cour says absolutely. Glad to have you here. And there's Berger wrecking the car there. Kevin Thompson made his way out onto the track along with Jeremiah Stutzman. Doug Solms is gone 14th quickest. And Solms' second lap will not improve his starting position. Jeremiah Stutzman. Kevin Thompson goes 11th. Stutzman goes 15th. Will Cannon out on track in the number 08 machine. Kevin Thompson coming off the podium last week. A great run at Lucas Oil, battled in that top 5 and came home with 3rd, trying to double up on that in the playoff battle. Gonna have the opportunity to make up a lot of points today. Will he take advantage of it? His second lap does not improve his starting position. Jeremiah Stutzman's second lap improves, but does not improve the starting position. Joshua Garthright out on track in that number 27 machine. Will Cannon working his way through 3 and 4. Very tempted to say NASCAR 3 and 4 is participating in the iRacing Daytona 24 this weekend. You call the oval, turns out at the Daytona Road Course NASCAR car turn number. Will Cannon goes 21st on his first lap, looking to improve there. He's coming around through turn 2, NASCAR 2, I'd be saying, down the back straightaway and into turn 3. Cannon running pretty high up into corners. I don't know if this time is going to do him too much. To the line, Will Cannon will go. Will stay 21st. Yeah, I was not too keen on that line. No, Joshua Garfright will go 15th quickest on his opening lap. We'll see what his second lap puts him at. Joshua Garfright through turn 4 down the front straight will go. Improves on the lap time, but not the starting position. It'll be 15th for Garfright. And still to take time, we have Garrett Valsey, Brandon Richardson, Kyle Lingerfeld, Eric Peck. So, in a little bit of a holding pattern here, as qualifying looks to have taken a pause for now. We still await it to be official. But, right. Let's go ahead and talk about, once again, today's charity, the American Heart Association. And with the American Heart Association, it is, excuse me a second. For 100 years, the American Heart Association has fought to be a relentless force for a world of longer, healthier lives. Heart disease, stroke are two of the top killers in the world, and each year, those diseases, they kill more than 800,000 Americans. You can support the American Heart Association through our Facebook page. We'll have posts about today's race, and those posts will have a donation button. That'll give you the opportunity to donate to that charity. And it'll go between you, Facebook, and the charity, and not between us. Or you can go to heart.org for more information or to donate straight to them. Make sure you support the American Heart Association, and we shout out a charity each week that allows us to broadcast the final 30 minutes of practice. And we try to do our part to shout out charities and give them any kind of support we can in some trying times for charities not able to do the most if they have a little bit of a bottleneck in their support. So any support you can give would be great for the American Health Association. Sean Thompson in the chat says, "Let's rock. Good luck, Kevin Thompson. Give him hell. Son number 89." And that is that's great. Once again, let's take a look at the playoff standings coming into today's race, and it's gotten tight. Of course, Evan Smith 41 above the cutoff. Kyle Lingerfeld 11. Jason Miz 5 above. Kevin Thompson 5 back. Jason Miz out of today's race. We'll see if he's able to come back. We'll see if Kevin Thompson's able to make up points on that margin and where everything shakes out. Gilliard is 37 back. Adam Gardner 62 points back. And now, driver's getting ready to grid up here. And we'll go through our starting lineup in just a moment. And here's our starting lineup. Row number 1, you'll find Landon Cardullo and Jacob Zala. Row number 2, you'll find Greg Holt and Joseph Cossie. Joseph Cossie will be starting from the pit lane. And Seth Berger will be starting 6th. He'll be starting from the pit lane. That's going to move Max Service from 8th to 4th. So Max Service will start 4th. Reese Schaefer will make up row number 3 in P5, and he'll be alongside Joshua McClune. Row number 4 will find Andrew Pratt and Matthew Setzer. Row number 5 will find Tyler Markle and Adam Gardner. Row number 6 will find Kevin Thompson and Jeremiah Stutzman. Row number 7 will find Farron Elam Jr. and Devin Smith. Row number 8 will find Farron Elam Jr. and Jeremiah Tyler Markle and Adam Gardner. Kevin Thompson and Jeremiah Stutzman. Farron Elam Jr. and Devin Smith. Joshua Garfright and Adrian Schumacher. Doug Solms will have Will Cannon in his row. Justin Miller will have Kyle Lingerfeld alongside of him. At the back, it'll be Gilliard, Eric Peck, Richardson, and Velzy. That is our 26 car grid for today's race. Very confusing with everything going on. But Kazi, Berger, they qualified. They're going to be starting 3 laps down today with their actions last week. But they qualified so that they can have their pit selection, and they'll be starting from the pit lane 3 laps into the race. Let's take a look at the race info coming into today's race, and it's 175 laps today, 75% fuel load, 7 sets of tires. No fast repairs and unlimited overtime attempts for the Kentucky Motor Speedway, the 1.5 mile trial in Sparta, Kentucky. Track temp 127 degrees Fahrenheit. Those tires are going to be scorching. Air temp 88 degrees Fahrenheit. 54% humidity, partially cloudy, and 13 mile per hour winds. The field rolling off the pit lane. It's Landon Cardulo, Jacob Zala on pit exit here. And, yeah, it's going to be a good one today. Once again, 2 of the heavyweights starting from the pit lane. Jacob Zala with a great qualifying spot. Everybody on that outside lane, they're going to get to move up here. We're going to have a little bit of a mix in that midfield. This is going to be interesting. But we'll see what happens. 175 laps on the docket for tonight's race here at the Legacy Kentucky Speedway. Fans, it's time to bring the action. The iRacing.com Ford Mustang safety car will make that hard left turn onto the pit lane. And the field is into control of the 8 of Landon Cardulo. Into the restart zone we go. We are green from Kentucky. Coming off of turn number 4, Landon Cardulo will lead lap number 1. Greg Holt in the 3rd behind Jacob Zala. It gets tight back here. Schaefer under attack from Josh McClune. Working that inside. He'll clear McClune off of turn number 2. Everybody starts to single out the battles here in the midfield. Kevin Thompson heads a nice little pack back here. Almost 3 wide. They're going 3 wide back here. Farron Aliam Jr. getting split there by the 27 of Joshua Garthright. Garthright moving his way up to the field, up behind the 82 of Adrian Schumacher. What a nice wall shot that is there. Let's ride on board with Kevin Thompson and let's see how this track is as he's coming off of turn number 4. Look, here we go. Joseph Kazi, Seth Berger, they have been cleared to join the race. Down in 24th and 25th position. Max Service did not take the green flag. Max Service was supposed to... He was supposed to start 4th. That's insane. So, we don't have Max Service. We don't have Malenko. We don't have Seth Berger in the mix. That leaves Tyler Markle, the lone representation of Swift Motorsport. Back up front, Landon Cardulo. And his advantage over Jacob Zala is growing up to 0.8 of a second. And Zala under attack from Greg Holt. Side by side down the back straightaway. And Holt will clear in front of Zala. Schaefer now falls in line, and he'll look to overtake the 4. We'll see if Greg Holt is able to do any indents into the advantage that Landon Cardillo has. Oh no, Max had a PC issue. We're learning from Andrew St. Coeur. And Team Swift Motorsport in some trouble here. We'll see if they're able to bounce back. This is not going to be a good day for the team. Behind the 8 ball for sure, Max said in his interview. And I did not know it was going to be in this intense. Schaefer on Zala. Zala looks to be dropping back. Maybe a hot lap that Zala can muster up, and that's it. Looks like the race pace is lacking out of that 4 car. Reese Schaefer around the outside. What an overtake this would be if Schaefer is able to stick it to teammate Jacob. They're still going side by side. Very similar liveries made by race leader Landon Cardillo and team owner for the most part. Schaefer around the outside. Now McClune looks to follow suit around the outside. Jacob Zala getting dotted up by the rest of the field. Oh, contact! McClune's gonna go around! Into the inside wall. Well. And that is gonna bring out the caution. Caution on the speedway. Jacob Zala makes contact with Josh McClune. And McClune goes round. Let's see what happened to McClune. So here he is back battling Jacob Zala. We need to see maybe an overhead shot to really know what happened. When McClune up on that second groove, Zala slides up from the bottom, and yeah, that's not a whole lot to say about it. We'll see an overhead shot though before we really make up opinions. What this does do is gives Joseph Causey the lucky dog. Here's the aerial shot. We'll see. Zala under the inside seam slides up from that inside seam, and McClune goes round. Joseph Causey will be getting the lucky dog early here with McClune going round. And this is what we saw live, this view. Let's go back to the live action. Landon Cardillo, the race leader. Pit lane is open. And everybody coming down pretty early. 71 of Stutzman stays out. Tyler Markle stays out as well. But everybody else, for the most part, comes in and pits. See here, Cardillo in the pit box. We'll be watching pit exit here, and then we'll get some words in with Tyler Markle, our new race leader, unless he pits. I'll see if he just forgot to pit, or I don't know if he changes his mind with only one other person staying out. The winner off the pit lane is Brandon Richardson over Cardillo, Holt, and Schaefer. Maybe Richardson took 2 tires. Here's Causey getting his lap back. Pratt comes out off the pit lane 4th. Then Garfright and Schumacher, and I think it's Pack over Gilliard. Thompson, Elam, Linger, Felt, Smith, Will Cannon, Setzer, Velzy. And a couple more people coming off the pit lane. Let's see if we can get a word in with Tyler Markle. Huh. Okay, here he is. Alright, and Jeremiah Pitts. So, Marco, you're going to be the race leader.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let everybody go.
All right, I was going to say, what,
I want to save a set of tires.
I was just about to say, what's the reasoning for this? I like that reasoning. I think Stutzman was trying to get a lap lead for that bonus point. You kind of took that from him.
That's the first one I got in a while. So, I don't know. My car's not good.
So, you come into today, teammate Malenko suspended, Service misses the start, Berger is 3 laps down.
Internet or something shit himself, and then he decided he can join back for some reason. It wouldn't let him.
Okay.
Yeah, he couldn't figure it out, and he tried.
Wow, that sucks.
And I'm left.
My
car's not good.
I was just about to say, you're the lone representation for Swift Motorsports.
Just hoping for a top 10.
Is there anything
You saw where I was? I was 9th.
Anything you can do for the team today?
Nope. This car is just bad. At least for me, like, I just don't get how people save tires, and I had the tire sound all the way up now, so I can hear when I'm, squealing the tires, and I just do it every corner, I feel like. So, I don't know. Hopefully 5 flags will be better. I'm gonna actually try and practice Saturday with Max on that.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I'm thinking ahead.
There you go. But this is a mile and a half. There's a few of them in the playoffs, so this could be important. This could be an important experience. Real quick, do you like this version or the current version better?
I think I only ran the current version last year at NIS, and I don't remember how it was. So, and this one's really tight, and I think the other track was the same way for me, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, okay. So you don't think the banking in turn 3 helps, or?
Not sure. I actually kind of think the newer one would be better, in my opinion.
Okay.
And some other people have actually been talking about that too.
Yeah, I know.
So.
We've had mixed opinions. A couple people like the banking, a couple people like it flatter. I like the grab bag of opinions on it. All right, but we'll let you get to it. Got yourself some laps led, and yeah, we'll see if we're talking to you on the far side.
Yep, see you then.
Rock on, and that is driver of the number 42, Tyler Markle. And Brandon Richardson has dropped down to running order. I think he's come to pit lane again. That is very interesting. I don't know exactly what's gone on there as well. But, yeah, Mad Dog Burger says, let's go 77. Markle, it's GG from Malenko. And green flag, and Landon's gone. Is Markle spinning the tires? Did he go? Is Cardillo going to have to give it up? We'll see into turn 1. I think Cardillo might have to give it up. We'll see what they rule on the start. But that'll be interesting. Here comes Schaefer around the outside, though. Marco was spinning the tires bad. So see, as Marco drops down to running order, it's to the line. Oh, so close at the line. Cardillo is still up the inside, but he's going to have Schaefer and Holt with him. He does not have Jacob Zala as his paperweight to kind of hold these guys back. He's got to fight them straight up here. But Malenko says, yeah, Markle, is it GG? Yeah, I think it is, the way he's dropping down to running order. We continue on, though. Lap 16 of 175. Schaefer to the inside. Further back, Kevin Thompson working on Tyler Markle for 6th. Oh, Markle slides up. Did he make contact with Thompson there? Looks like all is well. 3 wide back here. Schumacher, Zola, and friends. They continue on. Markle on Lingerfelt now. Lingerfelt will go around the outside of Tyler Markle. Now Will Cannon into the mix. Marco drops down to running order and finds himself at the heart of the pack. Up front, the lead stays the same. They're single file up front. Cardula now starting to open up a little bit of an advantage. Farron Elam to the inside of Tyler Markle. And that's Matthew Setzer back here. And Jacob Zola trying to work his way through the field. And the action's back here in this pack. 3 wide. Setzer sends it up the middle. Now Zola and Smith. There's Seth Berger trying to work his way through. He is 3 laps down. Big moment there for James Gilliard. We continue on up front. Joshua Garfright trying to set up the pass on Andrew Pratt. I'm sorry, no, this is Garfright under attack from Kevin Thompson. Look at Thompson get into the mix. We'll see if Kevin Thompson has the pace to keep up here. Looks like Garfright's starting to get away a little bit. Battle's up ahead. Holt and Schaefer were going at it. And now Pratt falling back into the clutches of Garfright. We'll see if Greg Holt can find a way around Reese Schaefer. It's tightened up back here. Will Cannon under attack from Matthew Setzer. Setzer to the inside. He worked lap 23 of 175. Blinking Garrett Velziver in the middle. Right in front of Gilliard and Smith. Zala catches the wall. Trying to hold on. Almost slides back into traffic. And we continue. See how slow these drivers, you can hear how slow these drivers are having to take these corners. Lingerfelt under attack from Will Cannon. Continue on with this pack, and actually up front, Greg Holt on Reese Schaefer. Schaefer around the outside trying to fend off Greg Holt. They continue on side by side down to turn 1. And Holt, can he clear up in front of Schaefer? Greg Holt will get cleared to the race lead. And here's where it's going on back here. This 5-car battle for the 8th position. 6, maybe more. What a pack we've got going on here. Zala with the defense on Gilliard, but Gilliard sends it up the inside. Kevin Thompson has passed Joshua Garfright for the 5th position. And Joseph Causey, Seth Berger into the mix. Oh, Cardinal Wall, that's Zala. And now Lingerfeld under attack from Gilliard. Gilliard gets by for 9th. I'm sorry, for 8th. Let's go back and see the overtake Kevin Thompson had on Joshua Garfright. And where it happened. This was into 3. He just cleared him on the straightaway. And this continues on. Well, cannon by Lingerfeld. Lingerfeld may be in trouble with his tires. Almost swiping Zala off the front of his car. Greg Holt is closing the lead on Landon Cardulo. You watch it back here for now. Landon Cardulo now down to a 3/10 of a second advantage over Greg Holt. And we'll see what Greg Holt can do. Let's ride on board with him as he tries to chase down V8 of Cardulo. What a send to the inside. Cardulo still fighting off Holt. Holt looks like he has a better entry to turn 3. Cardulo fights back around the outside. Holt sends it down into turn 1 now. Side by side, no, off of 2, but oh, so close to that outside wall. Into turn 3, Greg Holt with the send. Sliding up the track, Cardulo around the outside. side by side off of turn number 4. Cardullo trying to stay clear in front of Greg Holt. Around the outside still, Cardullo powers. But Holt not giving it up. Actually, Cardullo is cleared of Holt once again. Mark Berger says, go 77, still give it your all. What a battle we've got for the race lead. We'll see if Greg Holt has a send down into 3 with this time. He sends, has the advantage for a second. And around the outside, is Cardullo going to be able to fight back? Trying to clear in front of Holt, he does. Cardullo stays in the race lead. This is going to continue for a bit. Now Holt to the bumper of the 8. Holt sending it down to the inside again. Try not to hit Cardullo, almost. Trying to get the advantage off of 4. Oh, contact! And that might hurt Cardullo. That left front looks caved in. Let's go back and see it. Again. I think they were just kind of going for the same piece of real estate. So tight up front. This continues. Does Cardullo have anything back for Holt? What goes on here? Schaefer under attack from Andrew Pratt. And Kevin Thompson turning up the wick as well. As if he wants to make the playoffs. Andrew Pratt peeked to the outside. Now peeks to the inside of Reese Schaefer. Oh, most contact. What there was contact, maybe. To go back and look at it, honestly. Schaefer way up the track, though. Think there was, because now here comes Thompson into the mix. Oh, and Kyle Lingerfelt. Something happened to Kyle Lingerfelt. He is in the pit box. But Andrew Pratt into the 3rd position. And Kevin Thompson joins the battle. Schaefer might have used up the tires. Here comes Thompson. Trying to find a way around Reese. Velzy and Zala, they go at it for 11th. Schaefer back with a run on Pratt. As this, oh, here comes Schaefer once again. I was just about to say, as the battle fizzes out, we'll drop back. But no, Schaefer, he gets the run out of 4. Pratt has the better drive in to turn 1. And possibly turn 3, but Schaefer looks like he has the better corner exit. Cardullo really falling back, and the leader's now catching up to lap traffic. Here comes Schaefer to the inside. Turn 3, Andrew Pratt. Almost contact. That time Thompson had a better exit. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, Thompson did, but also Pratt had a better exit. And now Schaefer under attack from Kevin Thompson. Off of 4 now. Does Thompson have anything for Schaefer? The track temp, it's high. Look at that, 130 degrees Fahrenheit. And it continues to climb. The speeds, they come down as the track temp rises. Back here, Tyler Markle and Jacob Zala. A blink from Velzy. Tyler Markle holds the spot over Jacob Zala, but this continues to be a battle. Oh, Zala into the wall. Oh, he's gonna take out Tyler Markle. Oh man, Setzer almost hits him. And that is the second accident Jacob Zala's been involved in. Getting another lucky dog will be Joseph Kazi. Jacob Zala's left the race. And, well, let's go see what happened. Zala gets the wall. Markle gives him plenty of space. Just still ricochets across the track and collects Markle, and Setzer has to dive to the inside. Coming at you. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is gnarly to see a car coming at you at that speed. Well, we talked to Holt in practice. We talked to Cardullo in practice. We talked to Andrew Pratt in practice. So you can get a word in for Reese Schaefer. Oh, we'll see if they're pitting. If they're pitting, we'll leave them be until after pit stops. Cause he gets another lap back. He's now a lap down into the mix once again. Cause he's not out of it. Max Service appears to be back in the session. Oh, and locks up trying to get the pit road and into the barrier. Oh, man. And that's Max, but the race off pit road here. It's gonna be Holt over Pratt. Cardullo in the box for a while. Something amiss with Landon Cardullo. Long stop for Landon Cardullo, taking 33 seconds in the box. Now Greg Holt is your race leader over Reese Schaefer. Let's see if we can get a word in with Reese. Hey Reese, you got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Rock on. So pretty wild start thus far. Well, pretty wild. I mean, it's been pretty calm for you, but wild in the battle you had with Greg Holt, and then he kind of drove off. What did you learn anything from that? Do you think you'll have anything back for Greg Holt on this restart?
Yeah, you know, Greg's car is pretty fast all around. I was noticing he was 1 and 2. He's really hooking it low coming out, and that seemed to really help him. So I might try that a little bit and just, it's still. I mean, we're only still like over 100 and something to go. So I'm just really experimenting out here. Just not really. I'll try my best to get past them here, but I really just want to feel out everything and see what other people are doing and try to learn off them and improve my race overall. The coming in the pits there, the front right for me was a 55, so that is very bad. I think other people are having the same issue, so I'm gonna see if I can figure out a way to really get that that tire wear up a little bit and see if I can overall improve my car for the run.
Fair enough. Yeah. What what happened with Landon there? If you know, he was in the box for a minute.
When him and Greg Holt hit each other, and he had like 10 or 11 seconds of optional. So I also that's how I ended up in P4 is because of Pratt was passing me and he got really tight, so he tapped me in. But no damage. I didn't have any optional, so that was good. So.
Right, we saw both of those hits actually on stream.
Yeah.
Right on. So, 120 laps to go.
Yep.
Do you what's the strategy here? Is this a one stop? Do you think you're able to do anything strategy wise to get the advantage?
So I think we're it's definitely impossible to do a 2-step, so we'll definitely do a 3. So I'll probably just split up into 40s here, see if I can try that for the end, get the best possible car. But unless there's some cautions, and there's good thing is we had an extra set of tires this race, so that really helps us out. And I can really anything late race that happens, I can put some fresh ones on and really get some speed. So just gonna I think the goal right now is just to putt around and see what happens. So.
Fair enough. Well, we'll leave you to it. Reese Schaefer starting second position on that outside lane. Hopefully, we're talking to you on the far side.
All right, thank you.
And that was driver of the number 17, Reese Schaefer, going at it. And yeah, he'll be along the side of Greg Holt. In the chat, Andrew St. Cour says another one. Zala, sit down. Matt Rogers says that 56 is looking sexy, and that is a nice paint scheme on the 56. But we get back to racing at Kentucky. Greg Holt have a great start. Schaefer caught napping a little bit on that start. Andrew Pratt trying to get the second. Head down to turn number 1. Now Schaefer back to the bumper of the 75. Of how tight they were when Pratt overtook Schaefer. We'll see if there's something like that if Schaefer's able to try to get back by Pratt. Around the outside, Schaefer looks, but Pratt holding on to second. Greg Holt, couple cars double wide behind him. Now the battle for third. Joshua Garfright up to Pratt as Schaefer's gotten by. Now Schaefer trying to get to the 3 of Holt. Holt under pressure from Schaefer. As Pratt under pressure from Garfright. In the 3, I think Garfright maybe hit Pratt there into the corner. They're going 3 wide further back. Schumacher into the mix on Will Cannon and Theron Elam Jr. This battle goes on for 5th. Cardulo in the thick of the pack. So as this continues up front, Pratt still under attack from Joshua Garfright. Garfright trying to put the pressure on the 75. Let's ride on board. So he looks to the inside now. And he'll actually get clear of Andrew Pratt, so never mind. But Joshua Garfright into the 3rd position. And Greg Holt not opening up an advantage over Reese Schaefer. So now Holt opens up a little bit of an advantage. This continues on. Schumacher now all over Will Cannon for 5th. Cardulo up to 7th as Cannon and Schumacher do battle. On the back straightaway we go. Cannon, a newcomer to the series, doing a nice job along with Joshua Garfright. 3rd and 5th. This late into the race? Well, I say this late. We're on lap 64. In the middle of the race. Not too shabby at all. We continue on. Sean Thompson says, what happened with Kevin? Came in 5th. Update? He had a 44-second stop, so I assume he had damage. Or a penalty or something. But we'll see if he can work his way back up. Up front, the battle for the lead. Schaefer trying to find his way around Greg Holt. These two going toe-to-toe. Holt put on the pressure on Cardulo. And Holt has not felt the pressure on him for the lead of this race yet. And Schaefer's been putting it on. Is Schaefer, wasting his tires, though? Returning down the track like that's going to help Schaefer get a run off the corner, but he hits the apron. Let's see how much of an advantage Schaefer can get without destroying that right front tire. Here we go, Cardulo on Will Cannon. The 8 and the 08 going at it. Cardulo up to 5th. And now Schumacher under attack from Farron Elam Jr. Actually, he came in 5th and went out 4th. If that's the case, then he had a penalty. But I don't have any penalties on timing and scoring for him. Yeah, Kevin Thompson looks like he sped on pit road by the looks of all the overtakes that happened to him. Here comes Farron to the outside. Will Cannon peeking. Can't get there. And Greg Holt still feeling the pressure out front. Oh, into the wall! It's the 08 of Will Cannon. And there's Richardson. Looks like another driver had to go to the back of the pack. Tisk. Oh, man. Yeah, it's unfortunate that you're trying to get the advantage you can on a very busy pit lane. When it's so hard to pass at this track, I can see why speeding is, almost incentivized if you can do it right. But he looks like he got caught speeding, had to drop from 4th and drop back. That's usually what it means when you drop down the running order. It's either that or passing under yellow, but I don't think there's anybody for him to pass under the caution. Unless he beat someone to the scoring line at pit entry. So I'm pretty sure he sped on pit lane. And that's that. But Greg holds this lead. And Garth Wright under attack from Andrew Pratt now. Looks like Garth Wright used up his tires to get around Andrew Pratt. And Pratt's coming back. You heard Pratt in his pre-race interview said, "We're going to go ahead and take care of our tires. We'll get past a lot on the start. And then in about 10 laps, we'll get them back. We'll dispose of them," as he said. And this looks to be the case as he's powered by Joshua Garth Wright. Now Landon Cardulo into the mix. If Cardulo cleared the 5th, how are those tires holding up? Almost into the wall. Probably not too well. From the looks of it, Farron Elam Jr. driving forward. Another driver who's been turning up the wick a little too late. Not really much he can do to make the playoffs. I mean, he's not going to be eligible with the amount of starts he missed. But Farron Elam Jr. might be someone to look at next season. But here he comes with a run on Cardulo for 5th. So we continue now, this time by 100 laps to go. And Farron Elam with the send on Cardulo. Almost contact between the two off of turn 4. Joseph Causey in search of another yellow to get back into this race. Farron shoots to the inside of Cardulo. Coming up into the mix, Devin Smith, Jeremiah Stutzman. Back up front, Greg Holt still holding station over Reese Schaefer. Schaefer not really losing touch with him, kind of going toe to toe with Holt. And trying to stay in contention. Schaefer trying to give himself a chance in this race. And this continues on back here. Cardulo and Elam. To all the 21 viewers tuning in right now, thank you all for tuning in. This is one of those races where it's going to be a long one, but the battle here for the 7th position is picked up with Stutzman to the inside of Devin Smith. Elam trying to fight to the inside of Cardulo. Cardulo up the track, and Elam's got the run. Landon still on that outside fighting hard, but Elam trying to get the corner exit. Can he get there? They're going side by side down the back. Can Elam send it into 3? Elam sent it, but not enough. Cardulo's still fighting back around the outside. Cardulo's got to be able to stay in the power and corner exit. Joshua Garf right now falling back into the clutches of these two. Almost up the track, both of them go. And Elam is clear of Cardulo. Here's the battle going on here for 10th. This is Thompson trying to rally back with Richardson. And Causey trying to take it 3 wide, trying to get back into this race after starting 3 laps down from the actions last week. Him and Seth Berger, they've been fast to make it through the field, but Berger's got to get laps back. Thompson gets clear of Richardson. And this is Stutzman on Cardulo. As Elam's caught up to Garfright. And Schaefer said he's going to maybe try to split this into thirds. So we can expect pit stops in the near future, possibly in about 10 laps. But we also had a green flag run almost that length earlier. So I'm not sure what the game plan is necessarily. Stutzman still fighting hard on Condulo. Now 90 laps to go. Abel Gilliard in the top 10 right now, running 9th. Devin Smith joining the mix in this battle for 6th. Farron Elam Jr. now trying to work his way up to 4th. Does he have anything for Joshua Garfright? Elam drives it in corner entry. And now, Hole under attack from Schaefer. Schaefer trying to find his advantage on Greg Holt. I don't think Schaefer's intent is to pass right now. He's kind of waiting it out. Back here, Garfright holding station in fourth. It's getting very tight up front now. Does Schaefer have a send? Schaefer trying. He's there. He feels he's faster. Holt doing a great job defending. You have to give major props to Greg for holding on to that spot. It is tough. It's very, very tough. Jeremiah Stutzman on Theron Elam Jr. This continues on. So it looks like what's happening here is Greg Holt is getting a better entry into the corners than Reese Schaefer. Or Schaefer is letting off and trying to get the better exit. Because Schaefer is closing up on the exit. Of course, has the draft to help him on the straightaway. So we're trying to see what Schaefer can do. Peeking to the outside now. Oh, blown engine ahead. Blowing up is Tyler Markle. As the battle for the lead continues on the track. $80 laps to go this time by. On pit lane now. Cardulo, Gilliard, Gardner, Miller. Now Tyler Markle coasting in the pit lane. It looks like Team Swift Motorsports is not going to be able to do much of anything today. Let us check in on Seth Berger, who right now running in the 20th position. Of course, he's laps down to the leaders with the penalties start this race. And he's been about as fast as Causey today, but Causey has been ahead at the caution. He was ahead at the first caution, which then ensuing cautions gave him the lap back. And so Reese Schaefer has hit the pit lane, trying to undercut race leader Greg Holt. And Schaefer said he's going to try to split this race into thirds. And I think Holt has to respond quick. Andrew Pratt under attack from Joshua Garfright again as pit stops are cycling through. And now Cardulo on Fair and Elam. This battle has picked up momentum. Devin Smith getting passed by Adam Gardner. Gardner into the top 10. The severe undercut for Adam Gardner. Well, I say severe. Everybody's going to have to make the same amount of stops. So I think Gardner is looking good if we stay green for the rest of this race. Here comes Devin Smith back on Gardner. Gardner's going to have to be able to defend pretty well. And Smith to the inside. That continues. Cardullo is blown by Fair and Elam. And the battle's back here. 3 wide down the back. With Kevin Thompson. Will Cannon is a lapper. Thompson ahead of Gardner. Into the 10th position. As Smith drives up. Here comes Kevin Thompson with his speed from earlier, driving up and trying to find a way around Devin Smith. They put a lap on Justin Miller. Reese Schaefer's advantage out front has stagnated at 1.7 seconds. I tell you, it definitely has. Look at that. It is stagnated. Now Holt's gained a little bit. Trying to get it to work there, but it did. There it is. But what Schaefer's going to encounter that Holt really didn't encounter too much, is now lap traffic as the runs get longer. And now Schaefer's actually gap is coming down a lot. Take a look at the lap times, and Greg Holt's been on it. Back here, Brandon Richardson on Will Cannon for 11th. The send from Richardson to the bottom of the track. Can he clear Will Cannon off of turn 4? Clear to the 11th position for Brandon Richardson. Devin Smith opening up a little bit of an advantage over Kevin Thompson. Same with Elam and Gilliard. And Stutzman quickly becoming under attack from Landon Cardulo. And now the lead is coming down. Greg Holt chasing down Reese Schaefer. Take a look at the lap times. He's been gaining a lot on Schaefer. Schaefer might have been using up his stuff, not being held by Greg Holt. Schaefer behind Greg Holt might have been a good thing because Schaefer was kept in check with his right front tire. But now Schaefer had clean track. He tried to give an advantage, open up an advantage on Greg Holt. And Greg Holt is coming back. Unless Schaefer's maybe trying to save tires on his own, realizing it was a little too late. But Schaefer leveled out the times a little bit that time. That time they stabilized out a little bit more. But Greg Holt still doing his thing, trying to chase down Reese Schaefer. It's gotten tight here with a little bit of a pack. Three cars under a blanket here. This is the battle for 10. Richardson, Thompson, Cannon. Going at it. Seth Berger trying to drive through them all. The two leaders, they have a 7/10 of a second advantage in between those two. In between themselves, and then have a 10-second advantage over the rest of the field with Garfright and company. So Richardson holds 10th over Cannon and Thompson. One of the closest battles on the track. Except Garfright has passed Andrew Pratt, and Pratt fighting hard. The battle for the lead has gotten tight. As they catch up to a lapped vehicle. Is this Justin Miller to coming up to lap? That is Miller staying to the outside of the leaders. Schaefer's got to compromise his line. Holt can run his line. Almost runs into Miller, though. Miller catches the wall, and now Holt loses a lot of time. So both drivers were a little compromised with the lap vehicle. Now Holt way up the track, losing a lot of time to Schaefer. He was right there. He lost about a second and is losing still to Reese Schaefer. So that happened. Here we go with Elam on Cardulo for 6th. Cardulo powered by Elam, and Elam looks like he's done a better job with tires. Cardulo trying to cut in front of the lapped car of Eric Peck. And Elam trying to get back into the 6th position. And so with pit stops happening there in the mid-90s in the lap count, we expect them to happen towards the late 130s. So pit stops in the next 10 to 15, maybe 20 laps. And expect them. And this will be the final stops of the race coming up. Elam to the inside with the send on Cardulo. Can't get there. Cardulo holds station.
Hello.
How we doing, Tyler Merkel?
Good. I asked Dale to bring me up here.
Okay.
I don't know. If you're fine with it, I'm just gonna sit up here with you.
That's fine. I was just a little caught off guard.
Well, it's like, I don't know if you're gonna see a message if I was to say anything. So.
Oh, and Cardulo into the wall in the battle of Elam. Elam will fire on by Cardulo. And Elam into 6th once again. Yeah, what I use for graphics takes up my entire second monitor, so I can't see Discord messages sometimes. But yeah, you're welcome to join me up here.
Yeah, no problem.
It's
Monitor is disappearing.
It's getting a little tough up here. As the pack starts to spread thin a little bit. And something I've noticed here, Greg Holt has really lost a lot of time to Reese Schaefer. He was right there. And then they encountered the lap car of Justin Miller. And now he's lost over 3 seconds.
Well, they had a big hit together, I'm pretty sure. So
they did?
Greg had pretty significant damage now, I think.
Oh, yeah, he had damage with the lapped car.
And
Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah, and Reese is blinking for me, so I can't watch him.
He seems to be okay. I'm going to try to get you a screen share.
Yeah, look at the front end of the 3 car.
Yeah, we'll see here if frames will stay afloat here. Yeah, let's see if we can take a look at the 3 car. And maybe we can get a nice shot here off of turn 2. Yeah, you can see the damage there. Oh, yeah, that splitter is dragging. That could be race-ending damage with Holt. So what had happened with the lap car was Justin Miller was on the outside, which is fine and all. But the leaders, you know, they're on old tires at this point of the run, and they could not get around them as quickly as they'd like. And so Schaefer's line was compromised coming off of turn 2, and Greg Holt tried to run his line to the fullest because he could have, until the corner exit where he ran into the back of the lapped car, giving him significant front end damage. And now 4.5 seconds and gaining is the margin between Reese Schaefer and Greg Holt. And Schaefer just has to navigate lap traffic and keep the car clean. Schaefer to the inside of Adam Gardner. All of a sudden, Gardner getting lapped into 14th position. He was up in 9th after pit stops.
Looks like Adams got rear end damage on the left side.
So Adam did get to 9th after pit stops, but he undercutted the field. So I feel like maybe that rear end damage came from people trying to work their way by him on fresh tires. And unless Gardner fights,
So
but to no avail.
Reese blinking, or is it just mine?
Reese is fine on my end.
Okay, well, it was doing this on 24 hours, so I don't know why.
Uh,
Might have to mess with stuff. Graphics.
yeah, maybe take down to load a little bit on your CPU. So now the battle for third has heated up with Joshua Garfright, Jeremiah Stutzman, Andrew Pratt. Pratt has been falling down the running order. He was third, down to fifth. If he can keep toe-to-toe with Stutzman, though, and have something for Joshua Garfright, let's not rule Stutzman out of this either. If something were to happen to Schaefer, I'm sure Holt is probably going to lose second. He's probably going to have to repair damage on his upcoming stop. And then Schaefer, you know, he's got 50 laps of navigating lapped cars. And I think Stutzman might have the answer. We'll see here, though, on this round of stops. It looks like it's going to be a one-stop for everybody to the end. And so, is there any advantage to trying to stretch your tires other than maybe lead a couple laps and, I don't know, have the advantage towards the end of the run?
When did they pit?
I'd say in the next 10 laps or so we should see some stops.
Because you can go maybe 50 laps on gas.
Maybe 50. Well, we are past 50 laps to go, so they can make it on gas at the end.
Yeah, so yeah, they can pit anytime they want now.
That's right. We'll see when that happens. Who tries maybe a severe undercut?
Maybe not Jeremiah. Jeremiah was doing what I was doing, which was staying out.
Yeah, Jeremiah tends to stay out longer.
Maybe
But if it was
Pratt?
gonna help him, I don't think he wouldn't try it. Joshua Garfright, new to me, new to the series, his first start, running on third, and quite a ways away from the leader. He's probably gonna take second if things hold the way they are now, and Holt has to repair damage. I can see Garfright moving into second. We'll see if that holds. But pretty much awaiting final pit stops here in the coming laps. Reese Schaefer with a 6-second advantage out in front.
Lapping Garrett Velzy right now.
Yeah, Velzy. Good on Velzy to be here through the long run. Velzy's had a rough little stretch of races, so he's here. And coming up to final stops, he's still in the lead lap. He's about to be lapped, but good on him for staying in it, 13th and running hard. The next car to go lap down will be Kevin Thompson, which that one kind of really hurts. Thompson had a great finish last week at Lucas Oil with the podium, and then was up front, and I think he sped on pit road because he had to drop from 4th to the back of the pack. And Stutzman's gotten by Garfright. Stutzman is now in 3rd. And Garfright under attack from Andrew Pratt.
How about the two new guys, 4th and 10th? I think they're both new, right?
Yeah, Joshua Garfright, Will Cannon, and Justin Miller, the new drivers today. Justin Miller, 19th. He's a couple laps down. Unfortunately, part of the reason why Greg Holt's chances to win this race have been compromised. As far as Garfright, yeah, Garfright's done a phenomenal job, and Will Cannon's been in the mid-pack.
As for iRating for drivers now, the highest two people are, whatchamacallit?
Greg Holt
Greg
and Joshua
Holt
Garfright.
and Garthwaite. They both have 3.8 now.
Yeah.
So, because we were talking about, we all thought it was Reese, and then I looked at it, I was like, oh no, it's not.
It was Reese for a bit, and then Holt joined the series, and now Garfright. And Garfright and Holt, they're 20 iRating apart. That's going to be a nice little battle if they do official races often.
Yeah, if Farron wishes this was a real one, he'd be gaining 105. So.
Yeah, Farron's iRating is not that high, but it's not indicative of how he can run. Look at him in 6th.
I don't think he's done much since getting to C-Class, though.
That's fair. Gardner hits the pit lane. And once you get to C-Class, other than the NASCAR National Series, there's not too much you can gain from moving up the oval rankings. You can run Xfinity cars at B class, Cup cars at A class. Gardner slides through his box. It's going to cost him even more time. He's doing the undercut, and he's going to lose time, and he still had trouble getting parked in that stall.
Yeah, so unfortunately for me, every time we go to the back straightaway, you guys, it's gonna just cut out all drivers. Like, it just does that every time they go there. So, don't know why.
James Gilliard pits from the 9th position, and now Joseph Causey's in. Causey did a lot of hard work, got the 2 yellows. He's still 1 lap down. A late race yellow. Causey could still do something with this field. We're pretty much in limbo with Causey being 1 down, but other drivers, of course, getting lapped doesn't help his case. In front of Causey, you have Velzy and Solms and Peck and McClune who've been lapped. Gilliard's lapped now because of pit stops. And now into the pit lane goes Solms. And a lot more. Here comes Richardson and Thompson into the pit lane. Justin Miller into the pit lane. Garfright and Pratt continue to battle for 4th. Does one of these 2 drivers try to undercut one another? And Holt getting passed by Stutzman. Here's the battle for 2nd.
I'm gonna head back to the other chat.
Okay, go for it. And Reese Schaefer is pitted from the race lead. Jeremiah Stutzman will stay out as he takes over the race lead from Greg Holt. Joshua Garfright pits. Andrew Pratt stays out. Gaffright. As Doug Solms comes off the pit lane, Will Cannon is in. Andrew Pratt comes in response to Gaffright coming in. Solms and Elam and Cardullo stay out. Schaefer coming on the pit exit. And Garfright coming on pit exit. So as Jeremiah Stutzman holds station. Neither one of those 2 break. Cardullo stays out as well. What's the advantage of staying out so long? I'm not seeing it other than the fresh tires at the end of the run, but will it mean enough? Staying out still, the top 2. Oh, Devin Smith into the wall. As Elam gets by, Cardullo stays out. There's Schaefer. McClune pits. Berger and Service pits. Adrian Schumacher has left the session. Here comes Jeremiah Stutzman. And Greg Holt is going to regain the race lead. His damaged number 3, hoping for a yellow. I guess that would be the other advantage of staying out, is hope for a yellow. Cardullo almost catching the wall there. coming around to 30 laps to go, 31 laps to go, and Greg Holt is in. And Theron Elam Jr. is going to come off of turn number 4, and he's going to try to lead himself a lap. And he will. Theron Elam Jr. will be credited with that lap. Landon Cardulo pits from the 4th position. Devin Smith right there on Elam. Does he try to find a way to get to the lead? Reese Schaefer is at the start-finish line now. Joshua Gaffright is coming off of turn 4. Now Gilliard shoots to the inside of Gaffright. And Smith stays out another lap. Was that intended? I am not sure. But Devin Smith will get himself a lap led. Jeremiah Stutzman, little ways back. Pitting later, though, and he'll have fresher tires towards the end. But Gaffright holds station as Devin Smith is in. Unfair and Elam leaving the pit lane, and that's going to do it. Reese Schaefer has cycled back out in front of the field. He's lapped up to 11th. As Farron Elam Jr. comes off the pit lane. Cardulo in front of him. And Devin Smith not helping his case. Be racing Schaefer on pit exit if even. Devin Smith will go a lap down. So Reese Schaefer is lapped up to 10th. And Elam and Cardulo are in front of Schaefer. Kevin Thompson up to 11th. Reese Schaefer behind Service, who's fast, just several laps off the pace. Farron Elam and Landon Cardulo on fresh tires, so they look to be driving away. Kevin Thompson and Devin Smith, they fight for the second car one lap down. Richardson is the first car one lap down. Should we get anything to happen in this late race sequence? This is Solms driving away from Eric Peck. And that's second place Gaffright, nearly half a lap down. In second place, Andrew Pratt. I'm sorry, third place, Andrew Pratt there. Jeremiah Stutzman. Greg Holt in fifth. Trying to hold his own. James Gilliard in sixth. Well, let's actually go a little through the field. I basically was doing it, but with 20... Oh, crash off of turn number 2. Farron Elam Jr. has crashed. And Tyler Markle has crashed. He was just up here. And this is going to bring out the caution. Let's see what happened. Tyler Markle comes off the pit lane. Racing Farron Elam into the corner. He did not make the corner. Absolutely destroys Farron Elam. What was What was Tyler Markle thinking? Wow. That's right, dashboard won't work there. I want to see, we're going to go in car now and try to see, did he, steer to avoid him or what had happened? I mean, cold tires. I think he just repaired his car after the car blew up. And then into the corner. He didn't turn. I mean, I know Elam was to the outside. I don't know. He's a lapped vehicle, Tyler Markle is. Tyler Markle, I mean, he's several laps down. He's up to 60 down. He's just trying to get out there and gain the spot, gain 22nd, and just annihilated Farron Elam. Let's see what Farron saw. There's the car, Tyler Markle, to his left side. Just spun. It doesn't look like there's too much damage to Farron Elam's car. That's a good thing. I know he lost his hood in that spin, but he really shouldn't have. He only got hit in the left rear quarter panel, but other than that, I don't think he hit any wall. I don't really know if Tyler Markle's intent or anything, but what was that? I am confused. And I want to see, do we have him in the Discord? Because this would be great if we can get Gaff right into the Discord. Miller, Will Cannon. Alright, well, I'm going to pull somebody up, and I'm going to see if this is it. Hello, is this Josh?
Yo, what's up?
Right on. This is the booth. First, are you cool for an interview?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Right on. So you're in second position. Before this caution, half a lap down, it was looking rough. Has this given you some new life in this race with late race restart?
This has given me absolutely no hope whatsoever. These guys, I literally bought this track an hour before the race started. These guys are so much better than I am. I'm just trying to keep her clean and get her around the track, man. I'm just getting lucky. But I'm having a great time. Having a wonderful time.
Great. Yeah, I was just about to ask, this is your first start. You bought the track an hour ago. I think that adds to the fact we didn't know what to expect. But buying the track an hour ago, running second your first start, what do you think this run's meant as your first? I know you're kind of maybe just here for fun, but
no. Well, I race with Adam in another league, so he invited me over here. But I definitely look forward to making this a long-term thing. I like running the B cars. It's been about 4 or 5 months since I've actually driven a B car, so I'm relearning how to drive it. There's a lot less aero and a lot less grip, and it feels almost the same amount of power. So it's just I'm getting used to driving a tight setup again. But I'm having a good time, and hopefully my goal is finish in the top 5. That's my goal. So.
Well, before that last round of pit stops, you were under attack from Pratt and Stutzman. What?
Yeah. The 71 and the 75, right? Those boys, they have me all day long. If we got a 20 lap run here, I might be able to hold on, but I know they're both saving tires and just waiting for me to burn mine off. So it should be a pretty good race here. I don't know if I have anything for Reese, but I know the 71, the 75, and definitely the 3. The 3 is going to come back up and climb too. So it should be a good last 20 laps for sure.
Fair enough. Yeah, you have anybody to shout out for this run so far?
No, man. I'm just hanging out. I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, of course. Was not really sure what to expect when we got a little bit of lull in the action, and this changes everything. So best of luck to you. Hopefully we're talking to you some more on the far side. And
for sure, I appreciate it.
Right on. Good luck to you.
Sweet, bro. Be safe.
Yes, sir. And that was Joshua Gaffright. in the second position. That'll be interesting. And while we're under the caution, I do want to take another look at the accident because Malco's brought up Hot Rod Gaming says Marco ran out of talent, and that was my first look at it as well. Malco says, I think the 20 turned down on him. Marco didn't change lanes. Marco didn't move from the second lane. He doesn't really have to go to the bottom because he's on the inside. That's fair. Let's take another look at it. As we're coming up to the one to go. We can take another look at it real quick. We'll see here. We're right on board with Tyler. He's in that second. I don't know. I don't think he really turned either, though. Let's see. Here from the cockpit, we'll see. And we'll see the seams there. Marco's in that second lane. In that third lane. I mean, he's basically in the middle of the track. He's got to start turning some point. But this is Reese behind the iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car. In the race lead, he's going to have Joshua Gaffright to his outside. Row 2 will be Stutzman and James Gilliard in hope to try to get into the playoffs with a great run today. Greg Holt in fifth. Will Cannon 6th. Landon Cardullo, Brandon Richardson, Devin Smith, Adam Gardner, Garrett Felzy, Andrew Pratt, the top 12. Schaefer on the front row. Let's get back to racing. 18 laps to go from the Bluegrass State. Down the back straightaway, Gaffrey under attack from Stutzman. And Holt, hard charge to 4th. Gilliard around the outside. Will Cannon trying to make something happen. Cardula, everybody up here trying to make something happen. Look at the pack in the back all fanning out. But up here, the battle's for 4th. Oh, contact! Gilliard's going to get turned. Around goes Will Cannon. In the traffic, collected by Devin Smith. Theron Elam. This is probably going to bring out another yellow. And the leaders they're continuing, so I don't think it's going to be another. I don't think we're going to get a caution here. This is Stutzman on Gaffright. Continue on. And now to caution. Now to caution on the speedway. Let's take a look at the replay. Let's see all what happened here. This is Will Cannon to the inside of Gilliard. Comes up. Clips Gilliard. I think a lot of people are just trying to take a wider entry. Oh my goodness, what a hit from Devin Smith. So what I think happened here with the Tyler Markle incident and now the Will Cannon accident, people are taking... I know, it's probably the better line to arc it into the corner. It's just so hard. That's also what you do on the flatter version of this track. I haven't driven the Legacy version, but I know there's more banking to make it a little bit easier to turn. I don't know. That's so far up the track. There's a car to your outside. It's the groove. You can't take the outside groove with a car to your outside. Just look at the overhead shot before really anything. It looks like that. So Will Cannon and Gilliard going at it, and I mean, it's tight. It's tight racing for the same piece of real estate. That's what it is. It's not anything Will Cannon really did wrong. This is a little bit different. Of course, they were battling for position, but still insane. We're right on board now on the 08. Okay, and side drafting Gilliard. That's all fine. I think he tapped the brake and the car went straight and bam, what a hit from Devin Smith. And that's that. Here's the what's going on up front, and it's Jeremiah Stutzman now in the second position with 14 laps to go. Let's see who we can get a hold of. I'd love to get a hold of Brandon Richardson. I don't see him in the Discord though. I'm looking. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to get Richardson now. Let's see who else we can get. We have Pratt up here. We've talked to Pratt in practice though. We talked to Schaefer. Stutzman isn't one for mid-race interviews. Cardula we talked to in practice. Devin Smith. Let's see if we can get a word in with Devin Smith. There's Devin. Let's bring him on up. Hey, Devin. How we doing?
Hi, how's it going? Not well. If you can see,
Right.
I don't have a hood.
What did you see in that incident?
They just got together up front, and he ended up staying in the middle instead of drifting down the track like I thought he would.
How bad is it? How bad's it hurt?
Don't know. I'm afraid to go into the pit because I'm afraid it'll be required, and then I'll lose a lot more spots.
That's fair. Do you think this thing's gonna be able to stand a lead lap?
We got about. We'll probably start with about 10 to go, I think. So hopefully, but I mean, even then, it's been a lot better of a race than what I thought it would be.
That's fair. Talk about the run you have had today. I hate that you got caught up in that accident, but
Yeah.
it looked like a pretty decent run for you. You were up there in, fighting for spots in the middle of the top 10.
Yeah.
How was the car?
Tight as everybody else. The brake bias is the only thing that can save you, especially here or at these cookie cutter tracks, to get it to turn in. But other than that, it's tight off, tight center. But it was a good run. The only thing this race kind of sucked for me was pit stops, because I overshot my box twice, and that caused me to go back a little bit. So if I didn't do that, most likely I wouldn't have had to stay out for the wave around last caution. So I could be somewhere different. I could not. Who knows?
Fair enough. Well, we'll leave you to it. Hopefully you can chug that thing home. And yeah. Good luck to you, man.
Thank you.
Right on. And that was Devin Smith, who got caught up in that accident. It completely left my mind that he was. He still scored in 6th. Something else I want to bring up. Look who's gotten the lucky dog onto the lead lap. If we get another caution, Joseph Causey can have something to say about the outcome of this race. But here we go. Through turns 3 and 4. Reese Schaefer, Jeremiah Stutzman, Landon Cardullo, Brandon Richardson to top 4, VIRacing.com, Ford Mustang pace car into the safety of the pit lane. 12 laps to go, 11 to go when we drop the green. It's race time. Let's go. Schaefer with a nice jump, but Cardullo into the mix. Cardullo trying to get his first Outlaws Sim Series victory. We're coming around to 10 laps to go. Richardson drops down the order a little bit, and Justin Miller's crashed. We continue on. Nobody's called it. We continue on. Looks like we will stay green. But everybody singled it out for the most part. Let's see if we can get a quick replay of what happened. This is in the thick of the pack. Oh, Miller and Gilliard make contact, and that's the right call. It should not be a yellow. Back to the action. Schaefer out in front now by half a second. Cardulo trying to stay ahead of Jeremiah Stutzman. The block. Andrew Pratt on Gaffright. Gaffright to the inside of Pratt. Garrett Velzy into the 6th position. Andrew Pratt trying to find his way back by Gaffright. Stutzman, Cardulo trying to drive away from Gaffright, but Gaffright's got some pace in him. Seven laps to go. Reese Schaefer with a 7/10 of a second advantage over Landon Cardulo. Cardulo trying to hold on to second over Jeremiah Stutzman. As Gaffright hard charging to try to get up to third. Here comes Stutzman peeking to the inside. 6 to go. Trying to get the second on Cardulo. Cardulo slides up. Here comes Stutzman. The block from Cardulo now. Stutzman's going to slide into the corner. Now Gaffright to the back of the 71. Pratt into the mix. Gaffright past Stutzman for third. Cardulo now under attack from second. A second and a half behind Reese Schaefer. All this goes on. Cardulo trying to block. Gaffright's down there. Cardulo now trying to get the run around the outside. Off of turn 4, 4 laps to go, loose, almost into the 27. And Gaffright clears Cardulo. Now Stutzman into the back of the 8 car. The 8's gonna go around up the track and into the wall. And now Pratt into third. Garrett Velzy into the 4th position. 3 laps to go at Kentucky. Reese Schaefer has extended his advantage to 2 seconds. Joshua Gaffright had the pace to get up to second. Had to pass several cars. And Andrew Pratt, trying to redeem himself from the lost podium last week, now has to block Garrett Velzy. 2 drivers with 1 win, and both of these drivers locked into the playoffs. Velzy trying to steal a podium. Two laps to go. Pratt with the huge block down the front straightaway. Velzy desperately trying to find a way through, and Greg Holt trying to come back into the mix. As he comes through turns 3 and 4, Reese Schaefer is going to see the white flag all by himself. 2 1/4 seconds out in front of Joshua Gaffright. Andrew Pratt trying to hold on to the 3rd position. Velzy under attack from Holt. Holt now under attack from Stutzman. Does Velzy have anything for Andrew Pratt? The block down the straightaway. The contact, the push. Velzy trying to steal third. Up the track they go. Side by side through turns 3 and 4. Ray Schaefer's going to come out of turn 4 and win at Kentucky. Velzy to third over Andrew Pratt, and Garrett Velzy takes a podium. And 2 weeks in a row, Andrew Pratt will lose a podium, and he dumps Garrett Velzy after the checkers. Big accident. Richardson catches Pratt. Two weeks in a row, Andrew Pratt will lose out on a podium. Maurice Schaefer will get his second win on the season. Joshua Gaffright in his first start, he will get his first podium on the season. And Garrett Velzy will get himself a podium. I think this is his second podium. And Reese Schaefer on the start-finish straightaway will burn him down. He wins at Kentucky. What a race from Reese Schaefer to keep the car clean and to stay in it. Are they going to do a team burnout here on the front straightaway? They're trying. They're gonna try. We'll see here. Reese is now just pushing him. They tried. Maurice Schaefer, second career Outlaws Sim Series victory. But we're gonna have to talk. Now they're gonna do burnouts on the front straightaway wall. But we go now inverse order on the podium. Garrett Velzy stealing the podium out of nowhere. Garrett, how did you do it?
I just went and got fresh tires. I found myself a lap down there and got the wave around. Found myself with some fresh tires and had to make a move on the last lap.
Fair enough. Yeah, talk to us about that move with Pratt. I mean, huge blogs down the back. It looks like just a great battle.
Yeah, I mean, he blocked me twice, so I had it in my mind if he did that again, I wasn't going to let up, especially if I was close enough and it was the last lap. I don't think he was very happy about it, but, I mean, it's the last lap. I don't know what you want me to do. I'm not going to roll over.
Right. I mean, I think it was fair from both sides with the huge blocks down the straightaway and the last lap. Anything goes in the last lap. But it's been a minute since we've interviewed you, huh?
Yeah, I'm definitely not up here all the time for sure, but it's fun getting to talk to you every once in a while.
Yeah, for sure. So you've had a stretch of pretty rough races, whether it's you couldn't make them, so you just had to start and park, or they didn't really suit you and you end up getting caught up in crashes or fall laps down. But this race, you stayed in contention. You stayed on the lead lap for, I think, almost the entire race. Does Legacy Kentucky just suit you, or what? Did anything change for you? What? Talk to us about I guess this run and how it's kind of elevated from the rest recently, at least.
I got off work early today, so I got a bit of time to practice, and I was struggling early. But mid-race, I was kind of following Mac's service, and I kind of found out what worked for me following him, kind of seeing what he was doing, so that helped out a ton. And then other than that, I knew a bunch of guys were just going to be creaming the wall all night, so it was just keeping the car clean and trying to stay on the lead lap. I also, that 2 stops before the last stop, I decided to stay out a few more laps than some of those other guys did, and I was actually able to keep the same pace as the leader. I was able to hold him off for a couple laps. So I think just being able to play that strategy right and keep the car clean is what it took.
Fair enough. Now we leave today. 4 races to the playoffs. Momentum was on your side. Does this start a little bit of momentum as you get closer. You start to gear for a little bit of a run at the championship.
Yeah, definitely. Anything helps. I think it's just a matter of getting some practice laps in and staying consistent. We'll see what happens.
Fair enough. Well, Garrett Velzy, congratulations on the podium. Hard fought, well deserved. Good on you. That was fun to watch. Congratulations.
Thanks, buddy. Have a good one.
Thank you. And that was driver of the number 48 with his podium this season. And now we have Joshua. First Outlaw Sim Series start and first podium to go with that. You said you were just going to try to hold on there. You didn't know if you had anything for Reese, and he was gone. But talk about that last restart and having to fight through everybody. It seemed like everybody wanted to block you coming through the field.
Yeah, I felt that way too. But I kind of knew that was going to happen when I took tires. But I also knew the way the track's been driving, man, I feel like 2 laps on tires really does make a difference, and it ended up paying off coming out of the turns, coming out of 2 and 4. It really gave me the straightaway speed. So, but yeah, man, those blocks were heavy. I thought I was gonna die a couple times, but we hung in there.
I have to admire you, even though you got blocked hard by a couple drivers, you still backed off the corner and tried your hardest to not make contact with them. Even though the laps were waning down, was that more that you just know in your head you're going to get the run off the corner if you back it up? Or
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's this track, man. It's not about your end speed. It's about your exit speed. So I knew I could kind of give it up a little bit and compensate later. But I don't know, just getting pinched down low like that, I did not want to absolutely heat up that right front because it would torch it for the rest of the race. So I didn't have time to let tires cool back down. So I knew I kind of had to force my hand, but it worked out.
So now, first full race is complete. What do you think of the series?
I dig it, man. I dig it. It's fun. Definitely gonna become an established member here at Outlaw if I can. Yeah, I'm having a good time. My chat loved it. I stream, so my chat was loving it. They were having a good time. So
love to hear it. The more eyes we can get on this action, the better.
Yeah. I was talking you up. EWRL, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I was talking you up, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You want to plug your what you stream on?
Yeah. So you're on YouTube.
Right.
I haven't ventured over to YouTube yet, but I'm Firehouse Gaming on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
So any of y'all who are on Facebook that want to see a first-person perspective, Firehouse Gaming.
There you go. Yeah, we stream to the Outlaw Sim Series Facebook page. I stream to my personal Twitch just for highlights purposes. I don't expect many views to come in there. And then the EWRL YouTube channel and the Outlaw Sim Series YouTube channel. So a lot of places trying to get eyes, and the more streams we can get in the race as well just helps keep the league growing. So I appreciate you for streaming, and congratulations on a great second place. No, it wasn't the win, but first race, can't be too mad about that, and best of luck to you next week at Five Flags if you decide to join us there.
Ooh, yeah, as long as I'm not on shift at the fire station, I'll be there.
Fair enough.
I kind of weird schedule, so.
I see. By the way, we're on your in-car right now, and we see the fire suit you have is, the uniform of a firefighter. That's pretty neat.
The high vis. Yeah. Yep. I try to submerge into it, I guess. I'm living it, so might as well send it.
Fair enough. Well, once again, congratulations on the second place finish. A great run for you, and best luck to you on your next race with us.
For sure, man. I'll see you next time. Thank you.
Rock on. And that was Joshua Gaffright, finally getting that name down. So I'm sorry if you go back and watch the stream and you hear me butcher it a few times. So Gaffright with the second place finish. And now we have to talk to the man who absolutely had his way in the second half of this race. Reese Schaefer. Reese, talk about this race, man. What was that?
It was it was pretty awesome. Not gonna lie. Like I said early in the race when I got an interview, that I was gonna really start experimenting with stuff, and I found I really got a good groove in between the 1 and 2 line. I could really get my left tires under the second lane, and really I found the car wasn't like faster. It just the tires saved a lot better there, and overall my runs felt more consistent. And one good thing I did was coming into the one of the pit cycles. I was behind Greg Holt for most of the entire time, like less than a third of a second behind him, and I pitted early, and so I knew that my beginning runs really fast, so was able to get a second and a half on him, and then he started catching me, and then he hit that lap car, and that really screwed his race up. And then I was honestly I was getting pretty nervous at the end there because I was hoping not. I was up 12 seconds. I wasn't hoping for a caution, and one came out, so I had to really eyeball especially the last one, if I wanted to pit or not, because it was only 10 to go, and I stayed out because I figured most people would. And I didn't think the tires were good enough to last to pass people, and which they almost weren't, because 27 car, he went from he was the first guy that pitted, and he got all the way back up there, but I gained a pretty good gap in the rest of the field, which was nice.
All right, so there was something that I noticed mid-race. You were behind Greg Holt on one of those earlier stints, the entire stint.
Yeah.
And then you had, I think you pitted a lap earlier, so the undercut worked, got you to the lead. And then you kind of drove off. You held your 1.7, 1.8 second advantage, and then he started chasing you back down. Do you think that was him just pushing, trying to catch you, or was that your tires kind of giving out on that right front, and you were just trying to hold on?
Yeah, it was more definitely the tires. I knew it's pretty amazing, this track. What that one lap difference can be change the entire race. And I was putting a good amount of pressure on it before we pitted, and I kind of thought I had a good groove going on, but it clearly I thought I'd be able to maybe stay consistent with him, but still the one lap, even though it was only one lap, it really he was able to really start gaining on me. But then he like I said, he hit that lap car, and it changed my the entire race around for me. I thought I was maybe I could hold them off and keep hitting early, and then all of a sudden I was way out in front, so kind of worked out.
Rock on. You already spoke on the lap car a little bit with Justin Miller. Your line was compromised out of 2, and it looks like he tried to run his line to the fullest, but caught the lap car a little too quick and ran into him. Besides that, how was lap traffic?
It was actually very tough to get around. I'm not gonna lie, because most the lappers probably had a little bit more of fresher tires than me, because I pitted a little early, and so they had that edge on me. And also everyone's line is pretty similar, to first, second lane, and so it's pretty hard to get around guys. And I had one incident where I was passing Adam, and I almost got into it. I was starting to rise up the track, and I just back it down pretty good not to get into him. So overall, the lap traffic was pretty hard. I think I only passed like 3 or 4 cars though, which is kind of interesting. Usually, prior races, lappers kind of come and go quick. This one, they seem to start pulling away from me, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah, fair enough. How do you feel about Five Flags next week?
It's a short track. Short tracks are rough. They're always rough, but hopefully go in there, just qualify good and just stay up front. Wrecks, they may happen up front, but they always usually tend to happen in the back. And so if I'm close to up front, I can at least avoid the start of the wrecks and don't have to get in the end of them. So just try my best, and hopefully we'll come out there with another win. You never know.
Well, that's great. Congratulations on your second Outlaws Sim Series victory. Pretty dominant one for sure. And yeah, best luck to you next week at Five Flags.
All right, thank you.
Rock on. And Vat, what a race. I mean, I don't know what to say. The podium, for the most part, the top 2 are ineligible for playoff competition, with Gaffright joining way past the mark of starts, and Reese Schaefer joining as well past the mark to make it on enough starts, but has 2 wins on the season. If he could have just made if he could have joined the league a few starts earlier, we might be talking about Reese Schaefer as a force in the championship. But he can still have an impact on the title hunt in the chase because, of course, when we hit the playoffs, the drivers who didn't make the playoffs, they're still racing. They have, other positions and points to race for. They have wins to get, and that's what they'll be doing come chase time. Let's go ahead and take a look at the race results from today's race. And there it is. Reese Schaefer with the win. 2.5 seconds over Joshua Gaffright. Garrett Velzy with his first podium in a long time. Good for him. But Andrew Pratt, 2 weeks in a row, missing out on the podium. That one stings. That hurts. It's part of racing, but 2 weeks in a row to lose out on the podium in the late laps. On the last lap, both races. That is... I don't know what to say. Greg Holt comes home 5th after getting damaged by the lapped vehicle. Jeremiah Stutzman come home 6th. Just apologize right now in the chat, by the way, to Landon Cardullo. So he did not mean to get into him. And I didn't expect him to mean to get into him. It was hard racing. Very tight, close quarters. That happens. Brandon Richardson with a great starting position on that restart. Loses a few spots. Will come home 7th in a nice top 10 for him. Joseph Causey comes home in the 8th position. He was not meant to, but with the amount of cautions we got, he got back onto the lead lap, got lined up with the field, drove through the field as much as he could, got up to 8th. Adam Gardner, in a point where you need to gain as many points as you can to get up on that cut line, Adam Gardner comes home 9th, trying to make sure he still has a chance at that final playoff spot. James Gilliard as well in that playoff fight. He's looking to get closer to Kevin Thompson as Gilliard comes home 10th. Landon Cardullo comes home 11th after the big slide late in the race. Devin Smith and his damaged number 95. He'll still finish on the lead lap in 12th. Kevin Thompson, the first driver, 1 lap down in the 13th position. He should be moving into the final playoff spot with Miz's absence today, but things are going to get tight for that final spot. Seth Berger, 14th. Josh McClune comes home in the 15th position. Doug Solms will come home 16th. Eric Peck, 17th. Theron Elam Jr. in the 18th position. We file on to page number 2. You'll find Justin Miller coming home in the 19th position, 14 down with Theron Elam Jr. Will Cannon comes home 20th, 15 down. Max Service does edge out Adrian Schumacher. Service gets 21st. Schumacher 27th. Tyler Markle was 1 lap short of snagging 22nd. He'll be 87 down to Schumacher's 86. Tyler Markle comes home 23rd. Matthew Setzer comes home 24th. Jacob Zolla 25th. Kyle Lingerfeld rounds out the field in the 26th position. Today's charity was the American Heart Association. The American Heart Association for 100 years has fought to be a relentless force in a world for longer, healthier lives. Heart disease and stroke, those are 2 of the top killers in the world, and each year, those diseases alone kill more than 800,000 Americans. You can donate to the American Heart Association through our Facebook page, where we will have donation buttons attached to the posts that regard today's race, where you can donate straight to the charity between you, Facebook, and the charity, or you can go to heart.org and find out more information there and donate straight to the charity there. Congratulations to Reese Schaefer on a dominating second half of the race. He did everything right there at the end, and he went on to get the victory this evening at Legacy Kentucky Speedway. You already heard me say it, what next week's race is, but make sure you tune in Wednesday, February 3rd, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Outlaws Sim Series round 23 at the Five Flags Speedway. We continue to run to the playoffs. 4 races remain. This has been Emerson Arnn on the call tonight. Tyler Markle had a little bit of a cameo in the middle of the broadcast. But we'll see you next time. Stay safe, stay warm, have a great night.